The sun hung low over the sandstone cliffs of Colorado, bathing the ancient dwellings carved into the Mesa Verde walls in a warm, golden glow. For centuries, these cliffside homes had remained silent, their builders long gone without a trace. Locals whispered about the Anasazi, a civilization that thrived here only to vanish mysteriously, leaving behind a haunting legacy of stone and shadow. When Dr. Elena Rivera, an enthusiastic young archaeologist, arrived to spearhead a research expedition, she thought she was merely retracing the steps of history. However, strange symbols etched into the rock, eerie legends from nearby tribes, and an unsettling feeling of being observed soon transformed her scientific quest into something much more profound. As she ventured deeper into the ruins, she would discover more than just ancient artifacts. She would face the enigma of a lost people whose secrets still resonate in the canyons, waiting to be uncovered. Chapter 1: Whispers in the Canyons. The dusty trail winding beneath the towering cliffs of Mesa Verde felt alive with stories from ages past. Dr. Elena Rivera treaded carefully along the narrow path, her gaze sweeping over the vast array of ancient stone dwellings that clung to the canyon walls as if defying gravity. The air was thick with an eerie silence, only interrupted by the gentle rustle of desert winds dancing through the crevices. Locals had shared their tales of the strange sensations this place stirred, whispers carried on the breeze, shadows that flickered when no one was around. Elena brushed off these stories as mere superstition, keeping her focus on the mission at hand. She was determined to uncover the mysteries of the Anasazi, the elusive cliff dwellers who had vanished without a trace centuries ago. As she set up her camp beneath the sprawling sandstone formations, she couldn't shake the feeling that the canyons themselves were watching, alive with anticipation. Each step deeper into Mesa Verde felt like a plunge into the unknown, where the past and present intertwined, and the echoes of a lost civilization whispered through the rocks. Chapter 2: Echoes of the Ancients. As the sun rose higher in the sky, Dr. Elena Rivera and her team carefully ventured into the depths of the cliff dwellings. The narrow passageways, shaped by centuries of wind and time, led them to rooms brimming with the remnants of a culture long gone. Pottery shards were scattered about, smoothed by the hands of countless generations, while faded pictographs adorned the walls, whispering stories that were only partially understood. Elena felt her heart race with every new find. These symbols and artifacts hinted at rituals and beliefs that were far more intricate than she had ever imagined. The team meticulously documented every detail, snapping photos of spirals, handprints, and animal figures that seemed to thrum with hidden significance. Locals had always referred to the Anasazi as enigmatic guardians of sacred knowledge, and now Elena couldn't help but wonder if these echoes from the past were more than mere art. They felt like messages, waiting for someone to truly listen, and she was resolute in her quest to uncover what they had to share. Chapter 3: The Hidden Chamber. As Dr. Elena Rivera's team meticulously mapped the cliffs, they stumbled upon a narrow crevice, partially hidden by loose stones and desert brush. Suddenly, a rockslide shifted the debris, unveiling a long-forgotten sealed entrance. With a mix of caution and excitement, they cleared the way and squeezed inside, discovering a small chamber that had remained untouched for centuries. The air was cool and thick with the earthy scent of history. On the walls, a vast mural burst forth in vibrant reds and ochres, showcasing scenes unlike anything Elena had ever encountered. The figures danced through intricate ceremonies and celestial alignments, narrating tales of life, death, and a profound connection to the stars. The mural's intricate details hinted at a knowledge and artistry that had faded from modern memory. This hidden chamber was a game-changer. It challenged the established theories about the Anasazi and suggested a deeper, spiritual realm lurking behind their everyday lives. As Elena traced the painted lines with her fingers, she felt the weight of generations upon her, their silent voices urging her to uncover the secrets that had been so carefully hidden away. Chapter 4: The Code Beneath the Stone. The mural's intricate patterns were more than just a collection of stories. Hidden within its vibrant hues lay a code just waiting to be uncovered. Dr. Elena Rivera dedicated countless hours to studying the symbols, meticulously cross-referencing them with ancient Anasazi writings and tribal dialects. Gradually, a pattern began to take shape, a series of markings that seemed to map a route deeper into the cliffs. The message was both clear and cryptic, written in a language that felt almost forgotten. As Elena delved into deciphering the warnings woven into the code, she realized it spoke of sacred sites and dangers that the ancestors had long protected. The path led her to a narrow, shadowy tunnel that descended far below the familiar dwellings, hinting at discoveries yet to come. But with each revelation, she felt the weight of responsibility grow heavier. The ancient builders had left these warnings for a reason. To safeguard their secrets from those who might disrupt the fragile balance between the living and the spirit world. Elena understood that moving forward would require both courage and a deep respect for forces she was only beginning to grasp. Chapter 5, Guardians of the Past. As Dr. Elena Rivera and her team delved deeper into the hidden passage, an unsettling quiet enveloped them. Memories of local legends danced in Elena's mind, tales shared by nearby tribes about spiritual guardians who watched over sacred sites, keeping outsiders at bay. Faint echoes of strange sounds bounced off the stone walls, whispers that could have been the wind or perhaps something more mysterious. The air felt electric, and some team members sensed an inexplicable presence observing their every move. Ancient tribal symbols etched into the rock served as warnings for anyone who dared to disturb the resting place of the ancestors. Elena found herself torn between her scientific curiosity and a growing reverence for the spiritual traditions tied to the Anasazi. The path ahead was fraught with danger, not just in a physical sense but on a spiritual level as well. The team faced a crucial choice. To heed the warnings or risk awakening forces they couldn't begin to comprehend. With every step, the boundary between history and myth began to blur, and the guardians of the past made their presence felt. Chapter 6, The Desert's Silent Witness. In the heart of an old wooden chest, Dr. Elena Rivera stumbled upon a delicate journal that dated back to the late 19th century. This leather-bound treasure belonged to a long-forgotten explorer who had braved the rugged terrain of Mesa Verde long before modern archaeologists set foot there. His writings vividly chronicled a doomed expedition, beset by harsh conditions and bizarre happenings that forced him to turn back. Even more unsettling were his accounts of strange shadows and ghostly sounds in the night, as if unseen eyes were lurking on the cliffs. The explorer's notes hinted at a deliberate attempt to hide the real story behind the Anasazi's disappearance, suggesting that some truths were simply too perilous to uncover. This journal stood as a silent witness to the enigmas of history, revealing clues that stone and mural could not. For Elena, it marked a pivotal moment. A reminder that the desert harbored secrets that transcended time, safeguarded by those who came before and those who refused to let their tale fade away. Chapter 7, The Vanishing People. As Dr. Elena Rivera dug deeper into the enigmas of Mesa Verde, it became increasingly clear that the Anasazi's disappearance was both abrupt and puzzling. The excavations revealed homes that had been abandoned in a hurry, with personal belongings left behind as if the residents planned to return but never did. Soil samples indicated a long period of drought, yet there was more to uncover. Signs of conflict emerged. Burned buildings and scattered weapons suggested desperate battles had taken place. Still, some clues were baffling. Strange symbols carved into rock seemed to warn of an even greater threat, and unaccounted artifacts hinted at secret journeys beyond familiar lands. Elena couldn't help but wonder if drought and warfare were just pieces of a larger puzzle. Could it be that a supernatural event or a deep spiritual crisis had driven the Anasazi away? The answers remained hidden, buried under layers of earth and silence. The vanished people left behind a riddle etched into the cliffs, challenging the living to unravel what had forced them to flee from a land they once cherished. Chapter 8, Beyond the Cliff's Edge. Following the ancient code and the clues left behind, Dr. Elena Rivera ventured into the sacred cavern tucked away deep beneath the cliff dwellings. The narrow passage opened up into a sprawling underground chamber, where shafts of sunlight streamed through cracks above, casting a warm glow. In the center, an altar carved from stone stood proudly, adorned with symbols that pulsed softly with an ethereal light. Elena's heart raced as she stumbled upon relics that turned everything we thought we knew about the Anasazi on its head, artifacts hinting at advanced astronomical knowledge and a connection to forces beyond our understanding. Yet, with this groundbreaking discovery came a heavy burden. The cavern felt alive, its stillness interrupted by whispers that grew more insistent the longer she lingered. She realized that some secrets were protected not just by the passage of time but by unseen guardians. As Elena made her way back to the surface, she grasped that the truth she held could change history forever, but it might also demand a sacrifice that few would dare to confront. The story of the lost people was no longer shrouded in silence, it was vibrant, reaching out beyond the cliff's edge. As the sun dipped below the majestic cliffs of Mesa Verde, it cast long, dramatic shadows over the ancient homes that had stood in silence for centuries, holding on to their secrets. Dr. Elena Rivera found herself at the canyon's edge, feeling the weight of her discoveries settle in her heart. She had pieced together fragments of a forgotten civilization, a society that guarded mysteries far beyond what time and logic could explain. But with every answer she unearthed, new questions emerged, and the echoes of the past reminded her that some truths are meant to be kept safe. The Anasazi weren't just a people who disappeared, they were the guardians of wisdom that transcended the visible realm. Elena realized that the enigmas she had uncovered were part of a grander narrative, one that intertwined the earth, the cosmos, and the essence of humanity. As night enveloped the canyon, the legacy of the lost cliff dwellers continued to resonate, beckoning those brave enough to listen.